Hey guys, welcome to the video, and like the title says, everything you need to know about a P365. So one thing to clear the air is this ain't no P320. Every time you mention P365 to somebody that 100% isn't into guns, they're always like, oh man, that's the one that goes off on itself, right? No, buddy, you're wrong. You're really fucking wrong. For conceal everyday carry, I'd choose this thing, and if I wanted something of the P320 size, that's where I would venture out to maybe HK or another, maybe Smith & Wesson. This is not a 320, alright? I would never get one, alright? This thing's safe and whatnot, whatever. But if I wanted something high capacity, good size, I would even stick with this old school P250. As you see, it's hammer fire instead of striker fire. It's also extremely easy to field strip, and I shoot it really good, and it also has night sights. But yeah, back to the P365 here. I'm talking everyday carry, everyday comfort, everyday reliability, something you're good at shooting with, something with night sights, something that holds a good little capacity. Now, I'm not out here to impress anybody. I got 3 extra large hands. And yeah, this firearm's really small, but while I'm wearing it through a work shift or on events on the weekend, I'll forget I'm wearing it. That's how comfy these are, and that's why P365, 365 days of the year, you can wear this thing. You're not really going to be bothered by it. And also another thing I like to look for in a firearm I want to shoot often is like what I mentioned with my 250. Is that these are also really easy to field strip. You can even take the FCU out, but there's a little pin in the back. You'll see that pretty soon. But yeah, these are really easy to field strip, reliable, hold a good capacity, and comfy. What else do you want? One other thing is how all the parts are pretty interchangeable. I got 17 round mags for these. I got different floor plates for them. You can do different modules, grip modules, like this Wilson Combat one, which I really kind of don't recommend for everyday carry because it is a little wider. It's a little bit got that beaver tail. Yeah, it looks completely sweet. It feels awesome, but compared to the OEM one, you're gonna definitely feel it on your hip or wherever you're carrying it in comparison. Now also, just because I have a handful of SIGs doesn't mean that's all I buy. All I buy is something that holds a good amount, reliable, and easy to field strip. Now, maybe looks and stuff, that comes last, but... And here's this P365 with the 17 round mag in. Now, this is a good setup on occasion, depending on, where you're going or if you need those extra rounds. That's a good setup, but that's one of those things that you're sacrificing a little comfort. And at first, a little bit of weight too, because those bullets, they really add up. So I got to the point where I'm picking out these little 70 grain bullets right here. They're a lot lighter, and yeah, it weren't too bad on price compared to like your typical ballpoint, 124 grain or whatever I used to prefer. So yeah, I'd rather have these 70 grain little bullets on me and do work with those and have everyday comfort and practice with those instead of give the blessing of the bad person these expensive hollow points and whatnot. At least this at least it's something. And also here's the beaver tail sticking up on my inside waistband holster here, and this is where the OEM one really shines. I heard of some guys grinding down that beaver tail for the comfort. But yeah, also you can see the thickness, so it actually pushes the waistband wider. So you're gonna feel that in your waistband too. Also, another thing you need to know is these bullets, they can be hard sitting in the little magazine here. And what I mean by that is when you get a brand new P365, those last 2 or 3 bullets are really hard to get in. But a speed loader and over time, just letting a full magazine sit fully loaded makes that spring really relax. And also, if you're doing the 17 round clip in a stock the small, 9mm sized freaking P365, it's gonna be kind of hard to get them all in, and you have to let a full magazine sit before you even, shove it right in the gun and put one in the chamber. But they break in pretty quick and easy, and it's to the point I just load them by hand. That's how easy to break in. Also, I'm just running you guys how to field strip these visually. Now, this isn't a how-to video by any means, but you can just see how easy it is to field strip. And on the very back here, where that little pin is, I'll shove that through with a really small drill bit or something, or anything small enough to just shove that pin through, and you can take the whole FCU out, peel it up front to back, and it'll pop right out. And this one has an aftermarket slide catch lever and a takedown lever, but I've noticed nothing works better than the OEM one. So keep that in mind with modifications. Long story short, with that one, it's an unnecessary mod, but more for looks. But the straight trigger did help with accuracy and trigger feel. And I'll show you one thing too. These are extremely easy to field strip and put back together, whatever, but it's not as buttery as my P250. So on the very back, if you accidentally hit the trigger, it lifts up this little little lever right there where my finger is, and if that's up, you can't get the slide on. So if you put that up, or notice the slide ain't going on and that's up, just take your fingernail and slide that back down, the slide will go right back on. Otherwise, yeah, these things are wicked awesome to field strip and clean. And if you notice mine's all dusty and stuff, it's just purely from wearing it every day, probably for a year or two total and stuff, and it's just dust and debris probably from my jeans and working outside every day. And also, I'm just showing you guys the lever right here that sticks up, and I'm field stripping this one anyway, just to show how buttery smooth the slide catch lever is and takedown lever is on the OEM one. So I recommend just keeping that part, as long as with the grip module just completely stock, you can just have a completely stock P365 and do really good. We also have a P365 XL around here somewhere with a compensated barrel, and that's a beautiful, great gun. But this video is just mainly for the P365, for the size wise and sealability and shell capacity. I didn't see any need for a SAS or a X Macro or any XLs really, but just the original is where it's at for me. And another thing with the P365, I guess the first run of them, I don't know, maybe like the first year of them, they had problems with the firing pin, like cracking or whatever. So take that in consideration, just buy a brand new one. And I believe that problem would come from like hard use and thousands of rounds. Don't get me wrong, it ain't good, but also I heard SIG is really good with customer service and fixing it for free and updating it. And so I believe this is the best concealed carry gun you can get. I paid $4.99 for one brand new, bought a couple used ones and whatnot. And out of 3 of them that we've been shooting and whatnot, not one single malfunction. That's with all different types of ammo, old ammo that's been sitting out in the weather and whatnot. The old bucket of bullets, they'd be hanging out in the back of my truck, and just open those up and start tossing out rounds of those, no problem. When there's been times we bought like that brand new Kimber Ultra and had malfunctions within the first, the first 7 bullets. So I feel like I went through the pros and cons pretty good in this video. Feel free to comment anything below and like and comment, subscribe.